Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. It's Tuesday, July 15th, 2025, and it was one of those days when I didn't do any trading. I could have, but didn't really see anything that I wanted to jump on today or jump out of. Um, I think that earnings season is upon us and things are going to be up, especially with the chip restrictions getting relaxed for Nvidia to sell chips into China. I think this is great. Um, I'm glad I didn't panic and sell. Glad I held on. Works out okay. Just gotta charge my phone. The thing's dying. There we go. I'm just gonna shrink this a little bit. There we go. I don't need to look at myself. I find that over trading is a problem that I don't have. Thankfully, I've overcome that by doing other things over the course of the day and not trading too much. It's important, I think. Um, Finding other things to do. It can be a challenge when your vision is limited, which is what's happened to me. Um, Playing games, I really enjoy playing video games, but you know the reality is that playing them is fairly difficult, and it changes day by day because my vision can be great one day and not so great the next, and uh, yeah, some days I just can't see to play, and I miss it. Um, I was into Starfield. I was into Call of Duty. Really enjoy the simulators and strategy games like Civilization. Was gonna buy the new one, but since I can't see it, I can't see myself doing that. It just doesn't make sense. Would be a poor investment, I think. So I didn't do it. Um, but always looking for new games that are maybe a little less visually intensive. It's been suggested that stuff for Nintendo like Switch or Switch 2 might make sense because the graphics aren't as detailed for some of the games, I guess. But I don't know. I haven't tried it. Maybe a good investment. I don't know. But yeah, it's been one of those days. Hope everybody's having a good one. What did everybody get up to today? I see there's two people in here right now, and just curious how the day went. As I said, I did no trades. It was one of those days when I didn't think it made sense to. Um, I think we got a long runway left, and as long as there's no really nasty news that happens, I think we'll be good. So, yeah, I didn't trade today, but I still managed to gain about $800, which is, it's something. Hey, Dee Dee, good to see you. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Just just watch my portfolio change. Hit 121,000 today, which is or 121, almost 122. So that was a good day. But yeah, other than that, didn't do too much. I was thinking of doing stuff, but the day kind of got away from me, and I'm just as glad because over trading is a real problem. It seems that more people are interested in that QNC. Um, I didn't check to see what the price was like today, price action, but I'm in it for the long haul. I didn't. I'm not really interested in options on that. It's too cheap, Like when they do get options going, maybe I'll look at it. But 100 shares for now seems like a safe little play to see how it goes. Thinking of selling my options for D Wave and Ion Q and just going into the quantum ETF. But I don't know. I mean, I'm up about 400% on the D Wave options, and that's a pretty good return. Maybe it was 350 last time I checked. It was still a pretty decent return, so don't want to lose that. I think it cost me $800 per option, and now for the four options, they're worth close to 8,000. So it's just a healthy little return. But what do? You get rid of it. I'm thinking of exercising the option actually, and at least acquiring 100 shares of D Wave, because I think I don't know that they're the solution, but they've got a pretty decent runway with selling actual quantum computers and um, having a functional quantum machine. I understand the annealing process is a little different than the way that the other quantum computers work. I still don't quite understand how it all works, so I'm breaking one of my own rules by investing in something I don't quite understand. But what I do understand is faster is better, and quantum's the future, I believe. So, so I'm in it for the long haul. How's the stream looking today? Good stuff. Good stuff. Are you watching anything for potential buy or any speculation you're doing right now? There's a look at everything that I'm holding right now. As you can see, I have a lot of options on the go, and something that AI has recommended to me is to reduce the number of losers and double down on the winners, which seems to make sense. I just don't know which is the loser and which is the winner long term because they're all leaps. But most of the gains today were thanks to options. As you can see, um, I'm sorting by unrealized gain right now. There are some that are some pretty big losers, but the biggest single winner right now is Nvidia for my portfolio, followed by D Wave option, Netflix, Nvidia option, and so on. Okay, yeah, calculate your already speak rent. That makes sense. Do you have any catch up available? Like, what do they call it? Reach back or uh, where they can top you up from previous grants that you haven't received? 'Cause I know I'm. Hmm, interesting. The thing that I find with the grants is the delay in the time that you put the money in and the time that they match it. It's typically been 2 months for me, um, and by the time I get the grant, I kind of forget how much I put in to begin with. But it doesn't always line up with what you expect. I know that. Um, Typically 2 to 1 has been my experience because I always put in at least $500, and then past that it's 2 to 1. I saw somewhere that 1,500 is the optimal annual contribution that we should make, but I forget where I saw that. And for me, it I got a letter earlier this year saying that if I contribute $5,000, I'll be totally caught up with what they owe me from previous. So yeah, I'm working towards that, but I got other debts on the go, so I don't know that I'm going to get there this year. Um, may do it next year. Okay, so you need to contribute a declining amount over time, is what I'm getting from that. It would be nice to see something that actually looks at our individual situation and makes a recommendation, like you're saying, like a calculator. That would be helpful. Um, if I had the programming experience, I'd put something together. I do have some programming experience, but I don't know. Um, it's been a long time since I did any web design. Last time I did anything was with WordPress. I think things have changed since then. But a calculator would be very helpful. I think the biggest challenge is just getting people to sign up for the friggin' thing, because so many people don't bother getting their disability tax credit, and then they can't get their RDSP. It's a shame. It's free money that's being left on the table for, 1 in 5 Canadians that are disabled. It's unfortunate. And then the $200 a month benefit that we all are entitled to, or most of us are entitled to, that's left if you don't get the DTC. So that's step one, is getting people to sign up for that, I think. Um, and past that, yeah, calculators would be super helpful. I'm surprised. Well, I shouldn't be, but I'm surprised the government hasn't done something like that. It would be super helpful for everybody. Only 40%. Well, you know what? Out of the people that are eligible, that does make sense. I have a brother who's got intellectual challenges, and he has no interest in opening an RDSP. He's got one, but he has no interest in managing it. He doesn't have the intellectual horsepower to understand that, he's going to need it one day. Um, his answer is, "I might be dead," and he's right. We might be dead before we get to take advantage of it. I hope we're not. Um, he doesn't have anything that's super, terminal or anything. Thank God. But I think a lot of people maybe feel that way. I don't know. Um, it's it's one of those things. I mean, I can't tell him he's wrong, because none of us knows how long we got. But I think I'd rather plan for a rainy day. And I've told him, you got to have some money because burying is not going to be free. And he says, "Well, just put me in a cardboard box." Like, he's got some challenges. And he's not wrong, um, you know. But I think we do need to have some money set aside for looking after those things, and hopefully we are alive to take advantage of the account when it's time. 65, from what I've heard, comes up like you wouldn't believe just how fast. My parents are just about to turn 70, and they still feel like they're 18 in their mind, and I still feel like I'm 18 in my mind. I'm 45, and I don't feel 45 until I try to do something. I feel my back or knees or something, like starting to groan and complain, and health issues starting to creep up. But you never feel as old as you are, in your mind. So, oh, I was under the impression that we didn't have to start at that point. We had to start at 65. I don't know where I read that. Um, but if we have to start taking it out at 59, that's not the worst thing in the world. 59, yeah, I can live with that. But that shortens the timeline that I have to get to my $1 million goal, um, by a little bit. I mean, 5 years. Yeah, I think it's still achievable, or at least it's something to shoot for. Um, I think I gotta when I get to a certain point, I'm gonna reduce the risk that I'm taking and manage it better. Like yourself, putting more into the index ETFs, and the follow the 80/20 rule, where 80% is in index ETFs and 20% is in the more speculative things. Because I still like to play, and I think that's makes this whole thing fun. You know. So my understanding is we have to start withdrawing by the end of the year we turn 60. That's what I just discovered. So that gives an extra year, anyways. That that makes a little difference with the time we've got. Um, and that's according to Gemini. So you got to do your own research. But my understanding is we can we only get the grants up until 49, the end of the year that we're 49, and then we have up until 59 to make deposits. As long as we don't over contribute. I mean, you can't contribute more than $200,000 into the account. And I I understand that growth is okay. It's as long as we don't over contribute that they start penalizing us if we do. I think the other thing that um, a lot of people don't realize is just how costly it is to have mutual funds versus ETFs. I was doing a little bit of napkin math, just on $100,000 investment, what the 2% average mutual fund would cost you over the year. That's 2 grand, right? Um, and people don't necessarily realize just how expensive it is to do that versus getting into an ETF with an institution that doesn't charge you for every trade, or you know even with TD or some of the others that give you 100 free trades to get started. It makes a big difference going from 2% down to like Vanguard. A lot of their funds are less than uh, a tenth of a percent. I think um, some of them that I'm in are like 7.07 basis points, basically. It's a very competitive business. Yeah, yeah, it makes a huge difference, right? But they're so quick to sell you mutual funds because I think the licensing requirements are lower or something. There's some reason that the banks are pushing the mutual funds other than they make a lot of money on them. Um, and the performance is not so great from what I've seen. Uh, the type of mutual funds that are available to um, disabled investors are not very uh, rewarding from what I've seen. I mean, safe is good, but we should be able to have some of our money in growth uh, ETFs or growth. If it's got to be mutual funds, it's something that's got some growth exposure. But I believe it's RBC that is very restrictive from what I've heard about what we're allowed to get. My brother was with RBC and was not impressed with what he had the time he was there. It's mostly it was mostly things like bonds and very low risk conservative mutual funds. So it meant that his account didn't grow very fast at all. Since then, though, he's up to I think 140 shares of Nvidia, and that's thanks to TD's policies of allowing you to invest the way you want, which I think we should be allowed to. One day, I'd like to get a good review of all the banks and what the offers are, like who offers what and what the costs of doing business with them is. Something I'll have to work on. I don't. I would love to know, who's the cheapest. I get the sense that National Bank is probably at this point, but there's trade-offs with dealing with them, from what I've experienced so far. I mean, the biggest single one is that they don't seem to allow you to do spreads when you do options trading, or at least not as easy as TD allows advanced order entry, and that's kind of a problem. I mean, it's a it's a strategy not everybody does, but I should be able to buy a call option that's in the money and simultaneously sell a call option that's out of the money so that I recover some of my money. Um, it's something that TD allows you to do, but it's not something that National seems to allow you to do from the mobile or to desktop. It's at least I haven't found out how to do it yet, and that's unfortunate because it's a way to you know generate some income on calls that are profitable. They call it a poor man's covered call, and it's something that TD allows you to do, but National doesn't seem to, from what I've seen so far. They also don't allow cash secured puts, which is unfortunate because I'd like to implement what they call the wheel strategy, where um, you sell a put on something that's out of the money, but if it hits and you've got the money to back it up, you acquire the shares. Um, it's not an option with National, from what I've seen so far. I've just got that money sitting there that I'd like to put to work somehow, but uh, I'm not sure. I think bond ETF might be where I'm going with it. XHB has come up in um, some AI searches that I've done for some sort of secure high yield bond ETFs. Um, Kamikaze Cash. Okay. Yeah, the wheel strategy makes a lot of sense, I think. I mean, if you got the money to back it up, Kamikaze Cash. Cool. I wonder if I can mention them in here. That's not coming up. Oh, well. That's pretty cool, though. I have to check them out. So the wheel strategy for Kamikaze Cash. I'm going to check that out. Ah, neat. Well, it's been a good day. But, a good day to not trade anything, not do anything, and I think it worked out okay. But I gotta grab something to eat. My blood sugar's dropping, so I better go. Thanks for joining me again, Dee Dee. I will catch you another time. Yeah, take care easy. Talk again. Bye bye for now.